I'm going to tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. I don't make podcasts on YouTube. I make it for my real listeners. We sit back when we take a shot to go down easy. I'm telling you. You might want to get used to it.
DJ Holiday.
Fast break, slam dunking in my dunk, trunk blowing stupid amp. I'm the man, like shawty, I'm the man. Hello, told me give it to you, so you didn't get it, man. Huh? Gucci pulled up and I asked him, parking like a crucial mama doing the pool pilot. I'm sorry, y'all at the Gucci ride. What's up, Benny the Beast? How you been, dog?
Can we do that?
Yes.
Three girls, two girls.
I ain't Wilt, cause I shit 3. Give me one. Give me one. One love. But nah, man, I had to come in with that Gucci today. That was up because it's my favorite rapper. I named my first dog after him. Of many things, but I came here to talk about the NBA Finals, Game 4 today, and golly, what an ass whooping we watched today. So here's what I'll tell you: don't take too much from Game 4. Please don't take too much from Game 4. Real quick, hey man, I'm living good in South Georgia. About to get out. Moving to Atlanta area, about to be up there soon. Looking forward to it. A dad, a husband, all of that great stuff, man. Life has changed so much since the last time I saw you. Speaking to the Instagram comments, shout out to my guy, Vinny the Beast. We met out in San Diego back when I was out there, man. It was a great time. Good people. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about it. Let's not take too much from the game today. Yeah, Boston got beat by 40. It was ugly early, it was ugly late, and it was ugly when it was over. But I'll tell you, don't take too much from that game. Why? It's the 3-0 syndrome. You can come out super aggressive, super angry, locked in Game 1. You win it. You can repeat that in Game 2. And if you're a really good team, you'll do that again in Game 3. It's hard to do a Game 4, especially when you look at these games. Game 1 was a blowout. Game 2 was close-ish. Game 3 was close. So you know the teams are evenly matched. So when you're facing an evenly matched team, and then they come out going crazy and you up 3-0, it's like, maybe we figure it out, maybe we don't. But, shit. We live to fight another day. And that's exactly what Dallas did. I could go down the box score and try to explain this game to you, but it wouldn't do the game justice. The role players showed up, the stars showed up, and we got what we got. Dallas beating the dog shit out of Boston. But unfortunately for Dallas, I think it's too little too late. You should have done this in Game 3. And then now we're talking. And even if you drop Game 4, we go, oh, Kyrie back in the finals. He was the sidekick to the last time a team came back from 3-1 to win the finals. You go, okay, yeah, we got something here. But nah, man. Now, I do think this thing can get interesting because Boston's not a great home team. So what happens if Luka plays like he played today? He wasn't crying as much. He seemed like he played a little bit more aggressively on defense. And they win Game 5 because if you're Dallas, your goal is we just want to get back home to play basketball, not clean out our lockers. Because in the delusional athlete's mind, It is, I can overcome anything. And that's what I love about the athlete's mind, the delusional athlete, not the athlete who just rests on their laurels. I'm talking about, it's somebody in that Dallas locker room who thinks we can beat them on Monday, then we can beat them on Wednesday, then we can beat them on Saturday, and then we can beat them on whenever the next game is. And that's what separates our great athletes from most of us who are sitting here watching the game and listening to this stuff. We're too rational. Like the common person is far too rational to be great. And I truly believe what makes people great is the fact that they're irrational. Their overconfidence in themselves. Maybe it's narcissism. I don't know. I don't care, but I love it. And I truly believe there are at least two people in that Dallas locker room who go, oh shit, we got one. We just go on a 4-game winning streak. We've done that before. And we out of here. We can win a championship. Now, there's some people on that Dallas team like Maxi Kleber who like, oh shit, boy, I'm ready to go home. But nah, there's some people in that locker room who are really like, man, we can win this series. And they're not like the rah-rah guy. You know, on the football movie, you had a linebacker like, let's go. I'm like, hey, bro, shut that shit up. Nah, it's Luka like, they can't guard me. I can get my buckets. Kyrie is like, nobody can guard me ever. In life, I can get my buckets. Hey, Gafford, I got you. Oop, huh, lively, oop, ah. And guess what we saw? We had a Tim Hardaway sighting. I know that it was in trash time. I know it didn't really matter to the game. Tim Hardaway hit 5 threes in the fourth quarter. Only 3 people in NBA history have ever hit 5 threes in a single quarter in the NBA Finals, and Tim Hardaway has joined that company. And it doesn't mean anything in that game, but it means a lot for his confidence, because Tim Hardaway hadn't hit a shot in the finals yet. But for him to go out and be able to hit those shots, and some of the shots he hit, they weren't like just catch and shoot. It was little step back, little fadeaway, like a little, a little jazzy, little You go, oh, that boy feeling himself. Hold on, boy. Y'all gonna make me play some Gucci. But seeing him do that lets you know he's getting his confidence back. And him getting his confidence back is so important. Hold on, I'm sorry. I got I'm sorry, YouTube. I don't own it, but fuck you.
Shout, man. I got juice like Bishop, Frank, pretty like Richard. I was like every game,
Antoine Fisher.
and I am lazy just like Fresh Prince. But it's no Will Smith, my boy, your heart, I'm saying you well checked because I think it's time to kill him. The right friend did it, but my left friend fit it. I'm living like but speeding like Biggie. I shout out to Leah because the voice was so real. I say what I feel like Pimp C did it. Gucci Tarantino or just call me Young
Quentin.
A Gucci Nicholas Cage, I'll take your girl in 60 seconds. A Gucci matchup for Davis doing the slow dancing. Call me so Austin Ventura, got you laughing. Keep going like home muscle sucking like magic. Don't beat in my trunk, so the police start tripping, so I'm not
Reagan, I just have a large engine. I don't think you feel me like I'm feeling myself. You suckers ain't no Gucci man, it's bad for your health. Cheering, cars, clothes, women, and wealth. If you hating on the kid, it's like you're hating on yourself. That's what Luka's saying. I don't think you feel me like I'm feeling myself. Suckers hating on Luka, man, it's bad for your health. Women, cars, clothes, women, and wealth, boy, you hating on the kid, then you hate on yourself. And that's why, Boston sub 500 in the playoffs prior to the series at home. They can fuck around and lose game 5. Dallas come back home. I'm not gonna say Dallas is gonna be the first team to come back from 3-0 because if they do, oh my God, I'm gonna come on this. I'm gonna come on this pod. I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna have to pull Parlay Pete out of hiatus. I have to call Eric Boyd out of hiding. I'm gonna have to call Joel House out of the house. And we're gonna have to talk about it. But more so than Dallas winning by 40 points, the most important thing to take from this game was that Tim Hardaway Jr. got his confidence back. And let me see something. Let me see if I can get Parlay Pete on the line. Because I'm curious as to how he feels. It's 12 o'clock. He ain't doing shit. Because it's a hell of a game. Hell of a game. But Dallas probably loses in 5, by the way. I know I had Dallas in 6, but Dallas probably loses in 5. You don't want to answer the phone. You know what? I'm going to give Josh Holtzy a call. I respect his opinion. And if he don't answer, we're going to call Eric Boyd. Fuck it, why not? Bitch, we ball. I know y'all don't like hearing the dial tones. And I hope y'all have better friends than I do who actually answer your phone calls on a Friday night when they're probably out having fun. Okay, last phone call, and then I promise you I'm done making phone calls. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I got a cigar outside waiting on me.
Here.
Hey, Eric Boy, you're live on the podcast, so don't say anything crazy, but can you give me your thoughts on the game today?
I actually feel like now it's going to be a gentleman. I know they blew out Dallas. I know Dallas blew out Boston, but I feel like if they had squeaked this one out and maybe had a blowout in game 5, then it was looking like anything can happen. With a blowout tonight, I think Boston gets their heads screwed on right and then just finishes it off in game 5, which I believe is Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday.
So it was nice for them to have this win, but I ultimately think it's not going to mean much. I could be wrong, but I think it's just going to end up being 5 now. I think they got it all out of their system.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how I felt. I watched the game, and I go, the only thing I can take away from this game is Tim Hardaway may have got his confidence back, and that could be an X factor in game 5. But I got Boston in 5.
All their people that were hitting in the previous series, so PJ was hitting tonight. Derek Jones hit a few corner threes tonight. So the corner threes came back. They got way more lobs. I just don't know if this is going to be the norm or if this was just a fluky night. So I guess game 5 will be more telling. And if it's present in game 5, then maybe we have a series. But as of right now, I think they just had one really good shooting night.
That's how, bro, if they would have done this in game 3, I would have a totally different outlook on the series.
100%.
And my Luka hate doesn't allow me to be comfortable with Luka being the first person to come back from 3-0 in the finals.
My Boston hate trumps my Luka dislike, so I don't care if Luka wins, anyone but Boston. I just think this is maybe the most complete team I think I've ever seen.
Bro, I came on here the other day and I said if the 04 Pistons and the 17 Warriors had a baby, it would be the 2024 fucking Celtics.
Yeah. I think that's the perfect way to put that.
Because those are two of the most complete teams I think we've ever seen in our life. And I don't think the 04 Celtics had a player as good as Jason. The 04 Pistons had a player as good as Jason Tatum. But these Celtics are great, but are good, really good. but they're not the KD Warriors.
They can muck it up the way the 04 Pistons did with the defense, but they also score.
Yeah.
And not even like they kind of score. Like they score more than you often. The ball movement is great. They have a bunch of creators. So I think that was actually a perfect analogy, 04 Pistons mixed with 17 Warriors. Because while the 17 Warriors may have been the best team ever, I don't think it was the most complete team. When your top four is Steph, KD, Clay, and Draymond, you really don't have to have too much depth. And their depth was good, but I don't think they were this deep. They just were way more top-heavy than this team is right now. But I think as far as like 1 through 9 or 10, like they just go.
Yeah, I really want to like this Celtics team because, I mean, you know, we're Duke fans, so we like Jason Tatum. I like Jaylen Brown, but I just can't like Joe Mazzulla. If anybody,
problems with Joe,
if anybody but Joe Mazzulla was coaching this team, I'd probably root for him outside of Kyrie being on the Mavericks, and I hate the way that the media hates Kyrie.
I get why you wouldn't like Joe. Like there is just something about him that just kind of bugs people.
He's a cop,
but he is a very good coach. See, I mean, I really like individually. I really like Jason Tatum. I really like Jaylen Brown. And when they were very early on in their careers, like 18 when he took LeBron to 7, like I liked them then because I was like, no way this team, if they get to the finals, is going to win it. It'd be cool if they knock off LeBron. But now that they're actually like on the doorstep of winning it, even in 22 when they had a shot to win it.
They didn't have a shot in 22.
They were up 2-1. I think ultimately like Steph went supernova and then Andrew Wiggins turned into 1996 Scottie Pippen. But like when it started off, if they would have won that series, would have been inconceivable. Like them.
No, it wouldn't have.
And even like the 15 Warriors pulling that out, even though Kyrie and Kevin Love went down. So like now when they started to become a threat to actually win, then I was like, I don't think I like these dudes. As a team, I like Jaylen and I like Jason individually, but as a team, I was like, okay, I got to go back to hating Boston because now they could actually win this.
Bro, I feel the same way, and I don't hate Boston in the same way that you do because you're a real Lakers fan. I just look at it, I go, damn, these niggas gonna win another championship? Like I got to hear Paul Pierce talk about this shit, and I put in the text today, I was a Paul Pierce fan until I heard Paul Pierce talk. Like when Paul Pierce gets to shitting on LeBron, and everybody who listens to this knows I'm a huge LeBron fan. But I don't like Paul Pierce talking about LeBron like they're peers because they're not. Paul Pierce is like OG to LeBron. And it's like, no, Paul, your peer is Kobe. And your peers shit on you your entire career. You got one championship off of him. But when you're like, oh yeah, LeBron was scared of us. Nigga, y'all was in y'all's prime. Y'all was in y'all's championship winning years when y'all beat LeBron.
I will say 08 really made me hate the Celtics. Like I didn't mind them growing up. I actually liked Paul Pierce. I mean, he's from the same city I'm from. Like he grew up in Inglewood. That part was cool. But then 08, I was like, all right, now I hate the Celtics. And then started to kind of like them. And that, honestly, at 18, like when I got back from Japan, then you started putting me on podcasts, I started listening to Simmons. He reinvigorated a serious hatred for the Celtics. Because while I love his podcast, obviously, and Ryan Russillo is great, I feel like Ryan Russillo is very realistic about it. And Simmons will just make stuff up all the time. Like the Lakers title is a bubble title. And he's like, we can't count the stuff they did with George Mikan. Okay, cool. That was a long time ago. But he's not going to scrap any of the Celtics championships in the 60s when there were like 9 teams in the league and they just happened to have like the best players in the league except for Wilt Chamberlain. Like when we talk in modern era, like I'm pretty sure the one went in the 70s. They won the 3 with Bird. So they got of their 18 rings, they won 4 outside of Bill Russell. And you're going to be like, oh, it's the best franchise ever. Like, nah, dog. Pipe that down. Like the Lakers won 5 in the 80s, which against your boys, 5 is more than 3. Then Kobe and Shaq won 3. Then Kobe won 2. So like we've been doing this. So
Hey, hold on.
Really hate me.
LeBron won 1 too.
I was getting there. LeBron won 2. So that has made me hate them even more. Is everything the Celtics have done has been cool when their heyday was in the 60s, but the Lakers, like, he's got to, and I understand that's what sports hate does, but like bubble title, like, hey, but somebody had to win. It's not like he's playing around like they weren't the number 1 seed in the league before COVID happened, before Rudy touched that microphone. So
yeah, no, like Bill Simmons makes me root against the Celtics. Like I'm a Bill Simmons fan, but because I'm a Bill Simmons fan, I hate the Celtics. Mm-hmm. And I echo a lot of what you're saying. And it's so funny that we're talking about this now here, like publicly, but like privately, we talk about like Bill Simmons. And like I told y'all shit during the game. I don't even know if I want to hang out with Bill Simmons because Bill Simmons done got too rich. And like since Bill Simmons sold the Ringer, he's gotten like sports dumb. He's still good at talking it. But like some of the shit he says, like we talked about it like 2 weeks ago when he tried to say Jason Tatum is the best two-way forward in the league because he doesn't consider Giannis as a forward. It's like, all right, two-way is already a bullshit to me. But then when you say Giannis isn't a forward, but he plays power forward for his team, it's like, all right, nigga.
That's literally all he is a forward.
He's not the center.
No.
Brooke jumps.
So making all these concessions. I think he's more so gotten lazy. He's just like,
yeah, because he's rich.
His fandom, his team is good, and whereas Ryan like just got his vote, and he's like, I'm gonna grind to earn my vote, especially when all these other reporters are like, I'm just gonna vote for this guy this year. Kind of feeling that.
But here's
when he didn't have a vote, so right now he's got to prove like I deserve my vote. I'm gonna put all this research into it now that I have my vote, which I respect and I get that.
But you know what? I like this conversation, the Bill versus Ryan conversation, dog. Ryan isn't a Celtics fan anymore. He's a basketball analyst. Bill is still a fan, and he speaks as an analyst when it's convenient, but he's still a fucking fan.
It's hard to separate the two. I understand, like, yes, that's what you should do. I actually do kind of like that he is a fan, and it gives me like something to root against in the grand scheme. Like, it does make it more fun. But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, like I'm not mad at him for being a fan because I think, you know, I talk about Bill Simmons with you, Boink, and Pierce, people whose sports opinions I respect, who can actually filter out information properly. So I go, oh no, we listen to this. We can cut fandom from analysts. But I got something for you. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Rich Paul and Brian Windhorst, are they the same people in their field? Like, do they owe LeBron their entire livelihood and should make LeBron fucking pay for? Like, should they just credit LeBron for their relevance?
Rich Paul, yes. But I feel like Brian Windhorst is very good.
You know, Brian.
I know, like, when I feel like he blew up on the scene was when the Heatles happened. I feel like he was always covering them. But
he covered LeBron in high school.
I just feel like he's very good. No, I'm saying when I first started to like know him and see his face everywhere was, I think, when the Heatles really happened. But I think he's really good. Maybe, sure, he did write it there. I don't know enough to argue one way or another. So I don't know, because I wasn't following Windhorst like that to be able to say LeBron got him to where he is today. I'm sure you did your research.
Not really. It was just something I threw out there. Anything else you want to talk about the finals, EB? Because I'm about to close this bitch out and go smoke a cigar and drink some tequila.
I just hope that Dallas can make history. Nothing would make me happier than Dallas coming back from 3-0 and winning Game 7 on the parquet floor. That's how strong my hatred is. Especially because I'm going to be 45 minutes outside of Boston when the finals are happening. I would love that. Those people up there are insufferable.
Oh, bro, let me tell you a funny story. So I was where you are right now in the 16, like watching Game 7 of the 16 finals. I was at a bar in Newport, and
What were you doing there?
I was at a class for work
In Newport, Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And I remember when like LeBron got the block, and I was the only nigga. When I say the only nigga, I mean the only person in the bar celebrating. Like, fuck that shit, get that shit up out of here, bitch ass nigga, hoe ass nigga, fuck you, nigga. And when Kyrie hit that shot, I get off the bar stool and I get to talking shit, and I'm talking shit to myself because everybody in that bar was rooting for the Warriors. Like, the niggas was so mad that Braun won that they couldn't be mad at me.
I feel you.
And
the hate runs deep up there.
Nah, it does. And I think to the modern day Celtics fan, they hate LeBron more than they hate the Lakers, because the modern day Celtics fan hasn't seen the Celtics really be great.
Yeah, he did mess up a lot of what they were doing.
Like, if we think about it. Now, again, I respect your Lakers fandom. Like, you grew up, like, we were young in the Kobe Shaq era, but in the Kobe Powell era, we saw that. We were fucking by then. The Celtics fans ain't really seen like Titletown in basketball in our lifetime. Like, nigga, you won 1 in 08, but Nick Wright says it greatest all the time. Celtics haven't won a championship since the Berlin. Celtics have only won 1 championship since the Berlin Wall fell.
Yeah.
But they're
living off Bird in the 60s. They're like the Cowboys.
I think they're worse than the Cowboys. Because
theirs is more recent.
Because
no, the Cowboys got to be worse. They get A blocked on every show all the time. They
well,
got to be worse.
People care about the Cowboys, but like, I'm pretty sure you got an uncle or your dad has a friend who's a Cowboys fan and their kid is a Cowboys fan for that reason. And you go, that makes sense. 90s, boom. But when you start talking to like Boston fans who talk about how many titles they won, you go, nigga, you weren't born for those. Nigga, you didn't peep that shit. Fuck you talking.
My same uncle rooting for the Cowboys was old enough to see the Celtics win in '86.
Is that my favorite uncle in your family?
No, he hates both those teams.
That's my nigga. Hey, when the last time you talked to my favorite cousin? I saw you post the shit the other day.
That day, I hit him up to tell him I was proud of him for hitting that home run.
Hey, yeah, bro, I love that young nigga, bro. He's a good kid, man. Great person. But hey, thanks EB for just hopping in and talking shit with me. Wow, Zoe listened to us for a little while. All right, dog. I'll holler at you, man. We'll have a actual real conversation later. Are you up tonight or are you about to go to bed?
I'm on duty, so it could go either way.
All right, bro. When I get done with this, I'm gonna shoot you a text because I'm about to go outside and smoke a cigar when I get done with this pod. I got to talk about Paul George, and the Clippers not being on the same page, and Klay Thompson unfollowing all the Warriors accounts.
All right, right.
All right, dog.
Later.
Yep. Hey, shout out to EB for coming on here and helping me out, talk a little bit about the game. But yeah, it's probably going to be Celtics in 5. A couple of other things that I want to talk about. Luka is LeBron and James Harden's child. Like, if Luka and LeBron, if James Harden and LeBron could have a kid and like formulate that kid, like no no pause, no homo, none of that freaky ass shit, it would be Luka. Because he controls the game like LeBron and James Harden do. What's up, Stro? My guy. Hey, I'm moving back to the city in a month. I'm gonna be at Cheetah's once a week to come holler at you now. But anyways, but Luka is LeBron with James Harden's athleticism. He don't really play defense. Yeah, can't really block shots. None of that. Yeah. No, he can't shoot the three as well as James. He can't shoot a free throw like James. He does like LeBron. He's a mix of the two. But it worked out tonight. And that's what mattered. But Luka is James Harden and LeBron's son. So reports come out that PG, Paul George, and the Clippers are not on the same page when it comes to a contract extension. Paul George wants a max contract, and I guess the Clippers are like, nigga, you don't play enough. You ain't won enough for us to give you one. And if I'm Paul George, I'm like, well, what the fuck did Kawhi do? What did Kawhi do? Y'all give him one. Y'all can't give me one. That's crazy. And that's where they're at. That's where they're at. I think Paul George leads the Clippers. I don't think he wants to leave Southern California. I don't think he wants to leave LA. So maybe Lakers move Rui, and D'Lo's contract frees up, and they make things work to bring Paul George to the Lakers because Paul wanted to be a Laker. And Magic went on Jimmy Kimmel and he said too much, and the league was like, nigga, no, you can't have him. Can't have him. So he ended up going to the Clippers. But if we're being honest, he wanted to be a Laker. Nobody from Southern California, bro. You heard how Eric Boyd talked about his love for the Lakers. Nobody from SoCal wants to be a Clipper. Except for maybe Kawhi. And Clay did something that I never thought that he would do. Was he went 10 years past his prime and unfollowed the Warriors account. So that tells me that they're not offering him a deal that he wants, and he's out of there. Clay ain't the Clay that he was. Clay ain't who he want. He ain't the same Clay that we believe in, that we love. But if Clay leaves, it's time to break it up. It's time to send Steph to where he wants to go, so he can continue to try to win championships, because y'all aren't going to win them for him. I promise you, if it's Steph, Wiggins, and Draymond and Pods, I know Colin Cowherd thinks Pods is the Clay replacement. They're going to miss the play-in again. What more can I say? What more can I do?